Hello PhD scholars, I would like to welcome you and appreciate you for the time that you have taken in going through this module on how to cite and write. I am Professor Hepzibah Shamil and I have done my PhD from University of Adelaide, Australia, and currently I work as social research scientist at Dr. MGR Educational Research Institute, a deemed university at Madurai, Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Here we will be dealing in detail about how to cite and write. First of all, to introduce, let's look at what is plagiarism. Plagiarism is an act of copying other person's work, idea, concept, or a product and presenting as your own work. It is like stealing other person's intellectual property, which is ethically wrong. How to avoid plagiarism is by citation. When you use other person's work in your own work, either by referring to their ideas or by including a direct quotation of other person's concept, you must acknowledge it in the text of your work. This acknowledgement is called citation. How to cite is by referring. Referring is to demonstrate to the readers of your work that you have conducted a thorough, appropriate literature search and reading. It is to provide bibliographic details on what was used, detailing from where you have taken up the ideas from, and provide the readers the correct link of the material so that they can refer it for future. Why should you refer? You should refer because accurate referencing is a key component of good academic practice. You will ensure that anyone reading your work can track the source you have used. And if you do not acknowledge other person's work or ideas, as I said, you could be accused of plagiarism. Provide good referencing list. This will always impress the readers that you have really done a good quality research. Citing the reference is very important in research writing. Yes, it will validate your research study, will assist the readers to track the information what is necessary to do so, and it will demonstrate that the research writing was based on appropriate reading. It will also inform the correct interpretation of fine academic data. Now, very importantly, what should you refer? Include all the information that you have used when you are writing and create your own piece of work. The information could be a discussion, which could be an anecdotal report, or a journal, which is always called as researcher's journal, or online database, or any other books, or particularly online journal reference. The component of scientific writing, what you will see in this online program, will be on three important aspects. For you to write scientifically in a very effective way, first you have to effectively read. Then you have to write strategically. Then you have to develop your skill in citing the reference. Okay, first, writing is an important hallmark of a scientist. Now let's look at the parts of the scientist. You have to have a very good vision of reading what is written, and a good mouth to inform what you have read and what you are going to do, and a curious mind to know what's more and more, and a very audible ear so that you listen to what other people are telling, and good hands to really write what you have read and what you have thought about, and what experiments you have done and what was the outcome of the research, and a feet to explain, go to places and inform people about your research. So sometimes when you look at the data, nothing will be spelled out, yet everything was there for those who could read between the lines, said Ashford Henry, which means certain times looking at the picture, you will understand what it is without even writing a single sentence, which is very important for the person to write. What is scientific writing? The first step of scientific writing is to read between the lines. What do you mean by reading between the lines? When you read the line, it's important for you to understand the intention of the writer in the appropriate way, what the writer has said. You have to perceive the right way what the writer has written, which means when you are a writer, you should write in such a way that the person who reads your article should understand the right way what you meant to do so. Scientists read a great deal. Reading is essential to their professional lives. The amount they read is a decent predictor of their success in a monumental work of communication. So what we suggest is, for you to write well, you have to really read well. Why do you have to read? It is not simply to just reading the text, but by understanding what is mentioned and consider the point of view of the author, the degree of significance the author gives in the text. That's where the reading between the lines comes in. A person must be able to acknowledge what is read. If the individual reads the text and does not understand its meaning, then the time has been wasted. One must learn ways of understanding an article and what is trying to get across, because text carries a great extent of work. It's time your greatest enemy or friend. In writing and in reading, it's important that you effectively utilize the time. It's like running a marathon race. It's important to work your way up to full challenge. Start in a very concrete way and time. If you are a morning person, try starting up in the morning by 6 o'clock and write for at least 1 hour or 2 hours, and then have a little break and then start writing. Scientists spend 1/3 of their informal time put into the performance of reading activity. The time amounts to 23% of the work time, when speaking and writing are included in addition to reading. Avoid traps. Whenever you read, be very focused. There may be some pop-up online little informations which may not be unnecessary. Try to avoid any traps like that. When you want to read, you really read. Don't get distracted by choice. It's very hard to continuously read for 4 hours. So have a set time. Try to read for 1 hour and then have a 10-minute break, and then 1 hour, 10-minute break, and then another 1 hour, and then half an hour break, and then do like this in your own convenient time. Be very well planned and equipped. For reading, literature search is a very rigorous method. How would you know that the article that you are reading is with rigor? Use academic databases, to mention few: PubMed, ProQuest, Google Scholar Academia. So there are many other subject specific literature search engines also. So open up and search for academic journals in that. See the number of citations. When this number of citation is increased, you know that the credibility of the authors is really high and people have read their work enormously. And also look at the credentials of author. You will know whether the author who is writing is really an efficient, affluent person in the article what he is writing. So be very focused in looking at the literature, and do everything in a very strategic way. The first successful strategy, number 1, is practice smarter, not harder. Use key terms. Whenever you know your research interest, you categorize that into 3: the main terminology, association, and the extent. Like for example, if you're going to talk about bed bath, your main terminology is bed bath, and then main bed bath can also be called as sponge bath, a wash, and things like that. So you write what are all the other acronyms or the terminologies used for the same term. And the association could be, is it bed bath in the hospital? Hospital could be called as health services. Health service can also be called as health centers. So write the associated word which could be referred in other terms. Extent is it about the doctor, about the patient's practice, or is it about the home shower, or what is a particular area of your research interest? So put all that in the literature search grid. Now in a very zigzag form, you find the literature search with using all that words. Then I'm sure you will not miss even one article of it. Success strategy number 2, scanning. Scanning is an evaluation of scientific content analysis technique. Scan the passage to get an idea of what it is about. Scanning is to know the whole content in few minutes. If you want to know what the author has written and how the author has written an article, you just get into the table of content. What are the main title page looks like? What are the main subheadings? And then what was the copyright date and any headings? How was the index written? What are the illustrations given and how has he summarized and the author's bibliography? When you know the gist of all these things, you will just find out the overall subject content of it. So first, after the first step, do the scanning. After scanning, it's success strategy number 3, skimming. Don't just randomly look through the article to answer to each of your question. Search scientifically, skim read the title, skim the subtitle. Particularly if you want to know about the methodology, just come straight into the methodology, see what are the steps that the author has written in the methodology. Stop to read very carefully on the methods and what you are interested on. Success strategy 4, critical thinking is not a guesswork. So whenever you read it with rigor. The narrative slangs is not accepted in research reading or writing. Scientifically sound answers are better than slanged ones. So whenever you read, you think very scientifically if the answers are evidence based. Success strategy number 5, focus on the content. Understand the contextual content of the article. Example, if other factors are held constant, then increase the heart rate will sustain decrease in blood pressure. So you be very focused in this example. When would the blood pressure decrease and when would the heart rate increase? So notice with focus. Notice how these answers choices are really opposite. Often these opposites will not be so clearly recognized. Don't be thrown off by differential wordings. Look for the meaningful content that is at beneath. Success strategy 6, don't procrastinate, which means don't be lazy. If you want to read, when is a good time? Monday is not always a good time. When you want to read, just be focused and just do it, rather than just finding for a good time and space and a good mental stress and things like that. So if you want to read, just read it. How do we read? This is another important factor. Have your pace. If there is a sentence, try to read 2 words or 2 or 3 words together and then go to the next sentence and write and read as a cluster. Don't read word by word. If you want to read a sentence, when you read the first 2 letters, let your lateral vision go to the 3rd letter, and so that you can just read it as a clunch. Be cautious in reading hedges. Scientists insert hedge phrases to cover every possibility. It leaves no room for exception. Watch out for critical hedge phrases such as likely, may, can, will, often, sometimes, etc., almost, mostly, usually, generally, rarely, and sometimes, and more so. Writers insert these phrases to inform this may happen. Stay alert for switch back words. These are the words and phrases frequently used to alert you to shift in thoughts. The most commonly used switchback words are but. Others also include although, however, nevertheless, on the other hand, even though, while, in spite of, despite, regardless of. Be very careful. Switchback words means you say something positive and you use the word but and inform the negativity of the positive things. So be very alertful on the switchback words. How do you take reading to the next level of scientific writing? Pick up your main research idea. Weed the garden. Just be very focused on what is your main research idea is about. Have a brainstorm session of it. How to read, that's an important thing for you to know. When you read a sentence, try not to read word by word. Try and see each sentence as 3 or 4 words together. So it's like a cluster. When you see the 3 words together, it's important you will be able to read it together. And then when you go to the next words, again try to see 3 or 4 words. So try to see the words as a chunk and keep reading the text. It's also important for you to further understand the cautions, particularly on the hedges. Hedges is like almost, always, however, all these words. Whenever a person or the author uses the hedges, you be a bit careful that the author will just say something positive and he will use a term like a hedge, which means however, and say what is the negative component of it accordingly. So it's important for you to give attention to these hedges. At the same time, you also should note about the switch back words. Switch back words are similarly, simultaneously, where when the author would like to incorporate an extra component during his concept, he will just use the switch back words. Don't get carried away by trying to understand complexities. However, focus, concentrate on the way the author has written. And in one word, when you say research, research is about argument. You should be able to know about what previous research have been done around the world and how your knowledge is going to contribute in that research world. So it's important for you to understand the switch back words informing additionality of it. It's also important for you to know a bit more, which we'll be seeing in the next module.